Today, I want to talk about the dumbest question in art making, in artistry, in art school, in art conversations in general. I find this to be annoying, pedantic, and largely unhelpful to new artists, to artists currently creating, and to people completely outside of the arts that may be looking to consume or engage with or be involved with the arts. This question is: do you need traditional skill to be an artist? Or do you need real training? Do you need to go to art school? Do you need to know how to draw an eyeball with pencil really, really well? And the answer to that question simply is just no. No, you do not need any of that training. And there might be some people that scoff at that think like, ugh, like, of course you're saying that, you like annoying, like young contemporary art, conceptual art, internet person. Of course you would think that. You probably like videos of people jumping on trampolines and scrubbing a marker along a wall as they jump. And I would say, not really. I mean, I think a lot of people will point to highly conceptual performance art happening in a gallery or something, and they point to it and think, oh, like it's another money laundering scheme, or like, oh, stupid modern art, like rich people hiding their blah blah, whatever they're saying. And there's this big misconception that some weird modern contemporary conceptual performance artist person is just milking money and funds out of the art economy for their own benefit as they like make up fake dumb reasons to do performance art. And I would say, as a counterpoint to that, like maybe there's a handful of conceptual artists or performance artists doing that, but I would bet you money that you could show me any video of a random performance artist slapping mud all over their head or doing somersaults while screaming about like their parental trauma or like whatever thing you're pointing at and you're saying, oh, it's a money laundering scheme. I would almost guarantee that person didn't get paid that much. Like they probably didn't get paid fucking anything. You mostly, a lot of the times, a performance artist doing some horrible conceptual art piece that everyone's just confused and upset by after it's done with. They probably had to pay the gallery to let them do that in their space. Like, performance art is not some huge money making scheme where like people are shelling out millions of dollars for random 20 somethings and like weird urban millennial people to do like nude ballet on a bed of spikes. That sounds cool. That's a good idea, but I'm just trying to point out that if we're like really talking about the art economy, the art industry, the art business, people aren't paying big bucks for conceptual performance art of people screaming and doing stupid shit. Take like Marina Abramovic, who is like one of the quintessential performance artists of the contemporary world. She spent years and years, probably decades, doing these highly conceptual, crazy, avant-garde performances in alternative spaces. I'm sure she got paid for some of them, but most of those she was doing those for the love of the art. Her and Ule were traveling around Russia in a fucking van, like she was not, stacking fucking funds. And as she did these like weird, crappy things where people were cutting her clothes off and squishing fruit on her head or something. But I don't mean to rant on and on and on and on here, but if you guys want to point at the conceptual, crappy performance art world and say, like, oh, that's bullshit, like, art doesn't take any skill anymore, these people are just ripping money out of the art economy for pointless, crappy, conceptual art, I would say you can hate that stuff. You can not like it. You can make fun of it. You can think that it's skillless, dumb crap. But those people are a red herring, and they are not the culprit of that type of the money laundering, crappy art that's selling for millions of dollars, or let's be real, thousands of dollars for no good reason. I do have some opinions on what type of art and what type of art gallery are the people that are just ripping people off or selling absolute garbage to rich people just to make a buck, or rich people backing some crappy neo-pop artist in order to make money. off of them or to self-congratulate and feel like somebody who's creating artists, as they put it. I literally heard somebody who was a real millionaire gallery owner in a major city say this one time, but this man said, yeah, I've had a hand in creating artists before by giving them their second or third show in a gallery. And I just thought that was a really interesting choice of words to say, yeah, I'm a gallery owner and I've created a few artists. I understand that that was probably just either a lapse in figure of speech or language or whatever. Like, he probably doesn't mean that he made, maybe he fucking does mean that he just made these people out of thin air. But I just find it so interesting that a lot of these people that are participating in art trading, which is an alternative investment of people buying and selling, storing, whatever, inflating, pumping and dumping the speculative asset known as contemporary art, right? This is what we're like. If you want to understand the contemporary art trading world from a money making, money laundering perspective, you have to look at crypto and NFTs to truly understand this. And if you weren't there during 2021, you know, crypto's been around since the early 2000s. NFTs, I think, started maybe in the 2010s, but had their huge motherfucking crazy boom in 2021, where everyone was going crazy. CVS was minting NFTs. Museums across the country were minting NFTs. Fucking, you know, Ellen DeGeneres probably put out an NFT. And the reason for this being, it was just a massive financial trend, and people's managers and agents and financial investor management, whatever, all these people were getting people with large platforms to mint NFTs, and people with no platforms were looking for a way to make a quick buck by minting and pumping and dumping NFT projects and coins and crypto and shit like that. This is the same way these people create contemporary artists. A lot of these people who are buying this shit in order to buy and sell speculative assets, they are not doing it you know, because they just love art or they want to collect cool stuff. A lot of these people are doing it because they want to buy the next hot thing. They want to buy something that's going to the moon, right? And if you are somebody, okay, let's say you are a crypto NFT trader guy and you want to, but I don't know, you want to buy something new that's really cheap right now that's going to blow up and make you a shitload of money in a year or two. You're not going to just type in best crypto to buy and then just buy the first random shitty website. That, like, you're only going to buy something that is backed by people, you know, that is backed by other wealthy people, that is backed by other collectors that are kind of congregating and colluding before the launch or before it really blows up, so everybody can stock up on this one item and then it blows up, right? You want to buy into that group, not just some random shit. And this is the same with art. A lot of these people that are buying and selling the speculative asset of contemporary art in order to make money are buying art that is already backed by other wealthy people, backed by a billionaire, backed by an extremely rich gallery, or alternatively buying art that is backed by somebody who organically became very, very famous, you know? And we're not even talking about the blue chip world. I can't even, you know, talking about the trading of Picasso's, Warhol's, Salvador Dali, whatever. This is a completely different conversation that would have to be a part of a different video. But I just kind of want to first dispel this idea that art that does not carry or display traditional skill is, you know, just some tool of wealthy people to rip people off and make money. That is just false. Like I said, I'm hedging this and being honest when I say that there definitely are artworks out there, or art projects or galleries or artists in general, that have been used or leveraged by money launderers or for nefarious or unethical reasons. And I don't know, go listen to a true crime, white collar crime podcast if you want to hear about that kind of stuff. But if we're talking about the greater picture of artworks in the financial market, this kind of idea of de-skilled, abstract, crappy scribble art being the only thing that makes money, I just don't think is real. I think it's a complaint of the uninformed. And I don't say that like, oh, like you only think that if you're an idiot. I think that you might only think that if you just haven't looked close enough. Because you got to understand, my friends, there's two art worlds in this regard when it comes to contemporary art. There is the world of people who like art. Maybe they're working in nonprofits, maybe they're working in community galleries, blah, 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 whatever they're doing. These are people that actually love art. They love to make art. They love artists. They love the world of craft and education and academia. These people are, like I said, they're in museums, they're in nonprofits, they're in community centers, they're writing books. This is a really wonderful world to be a part of. But unfortunately, there is just no money in this world because it is a philanthropic endeavor. These people are running programs that are funded by grant money, funded by big donors, funded by a large collection of very small donors. Think local museum kind of vibes where there might be a few larger benefactors, but the bulk of the funding for the shows that come from these people that love and care about art is coming from hundreds and hundreds of people who are donating $5, $10, $20 a month or a year or something, And like I said, this is a cool world to be a part of, but there is no money. If you're an artist and this is the avenue you're trying to take to build an art career, you're essentially pointing at a philanthropic, grant-funded economy or ecosystem, and you say, I want to be a part of that. I want to be an artist that's being benefited by that grant ecosystem. It's going to be hard because it's extremely competitive, and a lot of it is kind of socially informed, where they don't want to just throw a bunch of money at somebody that doesn't really need it. They don't want to throw money at people that historically are the only people who ever get money thrown at them, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, they want to create opportunities for people who might not have the opportunities to do these things. And that's absolutely amazing that they do that. So now take all the information I just said, and that's in one pile. And then the other pile we can call major city, real, contemporary art gallery that their goal is money, like a cutting edge contemporary art gallery in LA, New York City, even Boston. There are some emerging and popping up, and art fairs and things like this. Like this is a world of gallerists, of curators, of art dealers that are backing artists. They're like racehorses that these people have put their money behind, that they believe in. Like, this is the art that I own, that I have bought, that I believe in, and I'm going to bring this artist and their work to the art fair, to the gallery, to the whatever, and we are going to put them on center stage of this contemporary art trading world. That's big money shit. That's big risk shit. That's contracts. That's like a record label world. You know what I mean? That's a completely different business. It is much more cutthroat. It is much more competitive. It is much more wealth meritocracy based. You know what I mean? Like, the person with the most money has the loudest voice, has the most sway in their backing. It's not, that's America right there, and it's, we're talking like Miami, Art Basel, Venice Biennale, or all this shit. Like, we're talking like shit that, like, you need a lot of influence to be a part of that stuff. And I'm not a part of that shit. I've never been to fucking Miami Basel or Venice Biennale. Like, this isn't my world, but this is just what I've observed through my bumbling through this life. And it's there where maybe you are likely to find, as I call it, kind of NFT crypto behavior. You will probably find new contemporary art stuff that feels like just total baloney, hogwash crap, where you're like, that took zero skill for this person to make. Why is this in this major gallery being shown to all these wealthy collectors? You will find that stuff, but I just want to point out that there's very few artists that have any amount, like even close to the amount of wealth, influence, or power required to self-back and represent themselves alone, with no institution, with no billionaire backer, with no gallery, art dealer, curator, where they can participate in art fairs and in the contemporary art trading world just individually, DIY, independent. Oh, I'm an indie major blue chip contemporary artists. It's just not really a thing. As a lot of people I've heard put it, it's like a yacht club or a country club where it's a very political thing that you know that it takes a lot of work and social know-how and connections and knowing people and acquiring levels of clearance, you know, in order to be a part of. Which is weird, you know, which is weird. It's not fair, but and a lot of people will feel that way. But I just kind of think that it's a little bit uninteresting in a way because I am a part of the group of people where I love art. I love making art. I love looking at art. I love absolutely weird, bizarre stuff that challenges me and maybe even stresses me out and makes me upset because it's so weird and different. And I love art that is unbelievably traditional and normal. I love Turner boat paintings. I love Cy Twombly abstracts. I love Salvador Dali surrealist paintings. I love Lee Krasner's abstract. I love Georgia O'Keeffe. I love traditional art. I love absolutely weird new art. I love all art. I love creation. But what I don't like is people just looking at this in a very uninformed way, and writing, you know, throwing out the baby with the bathwater, so to speak. Because at the end of the day, I am of the opinion that, you know, throwing around words like true art, real art, oh, this is the only valid kind of thing, is to me inherently classist, exclusionary, and a lot of the times even super racist and weird and just fucked up. Because when people say, "Oh, this," I only like art that takes real skill, that is actually by trained good shit. Like they're usually just saying the only real art out there is art that is informed and piloted by Western beauty standards and Western academic standards. And I don't want to get into that too much. And I'm also not saying that if you're of this opinion where you don't like avant-garde, highly conceptual art, I'm not saying if you think that way you're racist or you're a horrible person or something. I'm merely saying that I think that take requires more thought. And I think if that is your position currently, you should really look inside yourself and figure out what you really mean by true art. Because if you actually only like John Singer Sargent paintings or other neoclassical oil paintings and what like hyper traditional realistic painting, that's fine. And I fucking love that shit too. But the thing is like it's just fucking stupid and intellectually lazy and honestly kind of offensive to just carve out only that. Like, what do you think? The only real art in the world is fucking Greek sculptures carved out of marble? What the fuck? No, that's not the only real art. That stuff's cool. But, like, there's millions of other examples of really beautiful, amazing, and innovative things that exist in the conceptual art world, the avant-garde world, the abstract world. Like, this is like so unbelievably diverse, we might as well be talking about sand on the beach or fucking stars in the sky. Like, it's just not quantifiable to say this is real art, this is bad art, whatever. And I just want to say, to go back, like, the art world is murky, the financial world is murky, the nonprofit world can even be really confusing and weird too. But the truth here is, my friends, is that is a financial business world. If you want to say the art industry is bullshit, the art business is bullshit, the world of speculative asset trading is bullshit, I would say, yeah, it absolutely is. But if we're just talking about regular people making art that makes you cringe, or it makes you feel weird and it challenges your conception of what true art is, you know, you might actually just be stepping outside of the box and looking outside of your comfort zone. And a policy that I have with my personal beliefs and my art consumption is that if I see something that makes me cringe, I don't look away. I look twice. When I see something that's making me feel weird or making me like I don't want, that's stupid. Like, what the fuck did I just see? That is a sign in my brain to go, wait a second, there's something here. There's something different here that I don't understand, that's challenging my beliefs. This is challenging my framework. This is making me feel like I'm seeing something I don't understand right now. And the easiest thing for me to do The most intellectually comfortable and intellectually lazy thing I can do is to cringe and look away and say, no, I don't like it. No, not for me. Ew, no, dumb. And I'm just saying, if you want to really intellectually challenge yourself, if you want to actually think outside of the box, if you actually want to think about conceptual art differently, if you want to think about abstract art differently, performance art differently, art by people that aren't Western trained white people, you can just do that. You can just think of it fucking differently. And that's what I challenge you to do. Because let me say this too. Also, if you see something that makes you cringe or makes you feel weird or that you don't understand or that you think is dumb, and you do take that second look and you go, hold on, wait, like let me take off my judgmental take off my judgment cringe glasses for a second and just really really try to like understand what I'm looking at here. And then you come out of that thinking, yeah, that actually sucks. That actually was stupid and the artist was dumb and that was terrible art. That's fair. Now you deserve now you are entitled to that opinion. But I think before you have done that and you're just gonna cringe, I see it in myself too. No judgment if this is a reaction you have a lot, but I just think it's lazy. And if you have not yet given it a little bit more thought and challenged yourself to think differently about what you're looking at, then you might not deserve to have that opinion yet. So to recap a little bit, I just want to point out there is no such thing as true or real art. If you are disillusioned with the way that contemporary and conceptual art is promoted and received, you might not be disillusioned with art at all, but you are probably disillusioned with the art business and art industry. And three, it's just about challenging yourself and looking twice. Don't just cringe and immediately look away. Cringe and then look the cringe in the face. Look the abyss in the face. You think you're some Jungian intellectual integrated shadow book reading guy? Then integrate the shadow of cringe into your perspective on art. And then you will start to see art and you will start to see beauty and you will start to see intellectual quality in places that you did not expect. This has just been a rant. I didn't write any of this down. If there were some inconsistencies or incoherent parts of this, whatever, I don't care. But these are my thoughts.